Hello, my name is Steph Bartlett. Welcome to my YouTube channel where I share a lot of farm life here from our family farm in South Australia and also just behind the scenes of my life as well, as my mission or purpose with everything that I do is to inspire people to be wildly themselves and live life their way. For this week's YouTube video, I was cutting it fine. I only just recently got back from WA. I had such a great time over there catching up with family. My little nephews and nieces had an absolute ball. I'd never paid so much attention to what wineries and pubs and stuff have playgrounds. In Western Australia, it seems there's a lot of playgrounds and the kids absolutely loved that. And I must say, I had a fantastic time away, but I am a creature of habit. I love my routine. That's when I thrive. So it's really nice to be home again and get back into some routine. However, I only had one day to get footage for this week's YouTube video, so I gave it a crack. I caught up with Farmer Paul and Farmer Charles. I jumped in the ute with them, went out the back of the farm to where they were putting a fence around a new pump and solar system. Also had a chat to Farmer Paul about the crossbred lambs. I think we're ready to sell some now. And since getting back, the lawnmowers, or the sheep, some people call them sheep, they're lawnmowers to me when they're around the houses and the sheds. They're eating down all the grass, which I'm pretty happy about because I did see 2 brown snakes out at the back of the farm. So if they eat down the grass around here, hopefully that means we have a better chance of seeing any snakes. But they also found their way, the lawnmowers, the sheep, they found their way to my overgrown veggie garden, which I was really hoping they would do. So they have eaten that down, which meant it was a perfect opportunity for me to plant some seedlings in my veggie garden for spring. It's so easy to do. You don't need much space. You don't need much stuff. It's low maintenance. I just think everyone should grow some greens or herbs or something from home if they can. So I thought I'd show you my little process of doing that, and hopefully it might inspire some of you to grow some fresh produce as well. So that's a little insight into today's YouTube video. I hope you enjoy it, and I'm pretty impressed I got this video done in time because I did cut it fine. Anyway, let's go. Are you coming, Coco? Coco was at my feet. Let's go, let's go.
Burn a little brighter every day, swimming in the tide against the waves, and I can hold my breath until they...
If you watched last week's YouTube video, you would have seen that I've recently been in Western Australia. I was over there with my 2 brothers, my sister, and their families. It was awesome. There was lots of exploring. WA is great like that. There is just so much to see, and it was just so cool to see all my nieces and nephews play together. Speaking of playing, playgrounds, there are so many cool playgrounds in WA that really stood out to me. This one here is at Donnybrook. If you have a chance to go to this playground, do it. It is massive. There's so much for the kids to do, even the big kids. Yep, I had fun at this one as well. Another fun thing we did over there is we visited Gnomesville. Now, I've never seen so many gnomes in my life, and the kids, especially these 3 boys, they thought some of the gnomes were just hilarious, as there was a few rude ones that were showing their bottoms. As you can imagine, they just thought that was hilarious. It wasn't that far from the Donnybrook playground, and it was a beautiful scenic drive to get there. So if you do go to that playground, I recommend checking out Gnomesville as well. And then before long, it was back to the airport and time to catch the flight back to SA again. Check this out. The first thing I did when I got home was check the chooks. 20 eggs. That's what happens after a week away. I was very happy about this because it meant I had an egg for my oat pancake for breakfast the next morning. I was getting back into routine again, out for my morning walk. It was actually a beautiful morning back home. My mornings just don't feel right without my morning farm walk. It gets me outside in the sunshine, gets me out in nature, clears my head. And I guess it just wakes you up getting outdoors as well. It just sets me up so well for the day ahead. But anyway, my point being, I got back to the farm, back into routine with my morning farm walk, also got back into routine with my work as well, which was much needed. I was really looking forward to diving into that. And then it was time to head outside and go catch up with Farmer Paul and Farmer Charles and see what's been happening on the farm. What are we heading out to do now? What are you guys doing?
We're actually hoping you knew that. We're not sure of each other.
No, you're the boss, Steph.
Yeah.
Oh, we're in trouble.
Yeah.
No, you got a new bore or pump or something, am I right?
Not a new board, new pump.
New pump.
We've gone into solar system, so it's good. Yeah, it's a bit more expensive, but it's just got a bit more power behind it and pushes the water a bit more, and it worked out well, didn't it?
So it's been an upgrade pretty much, new pump.
Upgrade plus going to solar.
Going to solar as well.
I mean, fair cost to go to that, but just do it, I think.
Yeah. I thought I better earn my keep with filming them all the time, so I said I was happy to jump out and get the gates. Now, since I've been away for the week, I've heard you've had Steve back out to weigh the lambs, the crossies, and you're ready to sell some, is that right?
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, we've got the top 300 that are going next week.
Next week, yeah.
Good money. And then there's another 600 we're going to sell to the feedlotter.
Yeah.
Potentially, see what money we get. And then there's a middle lot, the seconds that we're going to sell in 4 weeks. Just
Okay.
get that all booked in so we can hedge those prices.
Yeah, so you're happy with how the crossies have gone?
I think, the weights are down on normal, performance are down on normal years, but with the late break, I think it was well worth feeding them and looking after them. Still going to be a pretty good result for the price of it now.
Anyway, the reason for heading out to this new solar system set up with this pump is to put the gates. You might have seen on the trailer, there's a heap of old gates. They're going to make a fence around the solar system just so the sheep don't eat any of the wiring and all that kind of stuff. There's a lot of money sitting there, that solar setup, so we don't want it getting damaged. So that's what we're up to. My goodness, and just here is where we saw 2 big brown snakes as well. As you can hear, it was super windy. This is probably the highest hill we have on the farm. Our farm is pretty flat, but it was blowing a gale. I did bring my microphone, but it turns out it wasn't working when Paul went to speak. It just wasn't meant to be. But lucky I can do a voiceover, not that I can hear anything he told me in that video, but here is all the wiring and stuff they're wanting to protect. That's all the solar system stuff. So that's why they bought the old gates out to put around the solar panels and all that jazz. Pretty big setup. What I do remember Paul saying is he based all this setup off 1,200 ewes and lambs needing water on this part of the farm. I wasn't joking when I said it was windy up there. I was trying not to get blown away. And I was also on snake watch. I did not want to see those snakes again. And now it's time to change gears to the veggie garden, because the lawnmowers, they found the veggie garden, they did their job, and it's all ready for me to plant now. Now, I'm not proud of this, but this was part of my veggie garden before the lawnmowers found it, and this is what it looked like after they have found it. So you can see why I thought, yes, it's ready to go now. It's so much easier to manage than before they had a little chomp at it. I live in between 2 towns, so I'm lucky I've got shops from 2 different towns to choose from, and I think I'm going to go to the one that's a little bit closer today, a bit less travel, because I need all the time I can get to make this YouTube video and get this veggie garden sorted. So hopefully they have lettuce, strawberries, the things that I'm after. Otherwise, I might be doing a round trip, heading to the next town and then home, which will mean a lot more driving. Sheep around the houses does mean there's extra gates to get down the driveway, but that's all right. I got into town and they did have everything I wanted. The main things that I wanted was greens, like your leafy greens, and I wanted some basil and strawberries. I was trying to think what the other thing was. So yes, they had everything I was after. And then it was home time, and as soon as I got home, it was time to get out the gardening gloves and my Rossi boots, and it's time to get to work. The lawnmowers have done a pretty good job. They don't like sour sobs, I've worked that out. Oh. And there's a couple of big weeds. This is asparagus. Some of these weeds, I'm gonna need to get a big shovel to get these out. But anyhow, the first step is to get the weeds out. I did buy a few bags of potting mix to mix through the soil just to give it a bit of a boost. This rosemary can stay. Yeah. It should be pretty straightforward. The lawnmowers, the old sheep, did a pretty good job. And then I'm thinking around these garden beds, I've got bark chips over there from when the power line people came and chopped down trees, and they asked me if I wanted all the bark chips from it. I was like, sweet, I reckon I'll put that around here to try and stop the grass and weeds growing around the garden beds. Let's get to work. First up, it's gloves on. I always wear these gloves when I'm gardening. I love them. And then I went down to the sheds and got a big shovel. I just like to dig up the soil, turn it over before adding in some compost and potting mix, and then mixing that up again. I then just pull out any roots or weeds or rocks that I find in the soil, and then it's time to top it up with some potting mix and some compost. I didn't really know what to get. I just went with my intuition. Hopefully I got the right stuff. I figure it can't hurt anyway. Alright, what should we plant in here? I normally make this one my lettuce garden bed. So apparently growing by seeds is really easy. I've got to get onto that. But for the time being, I'm a seedlings kind of gal. So we've got lettuce and we've got baby spinach. I've got some straws and some basil. Sometimes the frost kills the basil. Hopefully we don't get any frost. And another straw. And now for what I consider to be the best part of all. This is when you get to plant your seedlings. And can we just take a moment to notice the sound of the birds in the background? I just love the bird life on the farm. It actually makes me think of Grandpa. He used to be very hot on keeping on top of the wild cats on the farm. He didn't like cats because they kill birds, and he'd always be planting trees and stuff for the birds as well. The bird life around here is pretty special. So here we have it, all of my mixed greens here. We've got the basil in the middle, we've got mixed lettuce and baby spinach. And now the next step is to put some straw around. Farmy Kami, if you're listening, thank you for the pea straw. I may have helped myself. Lucky you had a lot, and I know you're very good at sharing. Thank you.
Breathe the silence there to be warm. And in the night a thirst to be done. I'm waiting for a lifetime.
How ironic that as I filled up the watering can, it started to rain. It turns out that whilst I was watering my garden, I had a lot of eyes on me.
Oh, my home sounds stronger than Place your hands in mine, so
going on? You're scared of him, Coco. Annoying that, yeah. You'll be right. Okay, got my fence this end and the other end as well. So it should be safe from the girls. Whilst I was at it, I thought I'd sort out this mint tire. So years ago when I first set up this garden, I planted some mint in this tire and I've never had to replant it. Every year it just grows back. All I need to do is weed it. I top it up with a bit of potting mix, water it, and it's good to go. I would say that mint is a bit like a weed, so if you don't have much luck with growing stuff, why don't you start with some mint? I think you'll be fine with that. So this is what it looks like after I've weeded it. You'll see there's already some mint that started growing back. I also gave it some pea straw to mulch it as well. And next up, this is the last one to work on, well kind of. I'm going to put my strawberry plants in here. So there's my 2 little strawberry plants. I'm going to get some more strawberry plants and just fill that with strawberries. And then this is the last one to work on. It's got rosemary in there from previous years. I don't know what I'm going to plant in there yet, but I figured I'd get it ready. And that is a wrap. I still need to work out what I'm going to plant in here. I've got lots of rosemary and there is a little bit of sage growing back as well. I'm going to make this one here the strawberry garden. This is the wild mint that will just grow all by itself. And then we've got the greens, baby spinach, mixed lettuce and some basil. I'm pretty happy with that. I still need to put the bark chips all around here. Might do that tomorrow. But for now, I'm pretty happy with this little job I've done. And up that too if you want, over this side. Up. Good girl. Thank you so much for watching today's YouTube video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, be sure to do so, as I upload a brand new YouTube video every week, even if it means I'm under the pump like I was this week after being in Western Australia. If you have any ideas or suggestions for what you would like to see me make a video about, please let me know in the comments. I find that super helpful. We do have shearing coming up. I'm really looking forward to making a YouTube video about that. If there's anything in particular you'd like me to touch on in the shearing video, definitely let me know in the comments. And also let me know in the comments if you have your own veggie garden. What do you like to plant in spring? What do you love about a veggie garden? Do you have any tips? Let me know in the comments. And hopefully I'll have some future videos where we can see the progress of my veggie garden. I might even do a few recipe food kind of videos. I know there's been a few requests for that. I'd love to do some of them with fresh produce from my veggie garden. How cool would that be? Anyhow, I think that's it for now. Don't you reckon, Coco? Yep. I will see you again next week, but in the meantime, be wildly you and live life your way. Off you get, Coco. See ya. Off you get. We gotta go. Good girl. Alrighty.
Burn a little brighter every day. Swimming in the tide against the waves. And I can hold my breath until they crash.
Watch you go.
Never been the type to wait, and never had the time to play it safe. I'm rushing in like an avalanche.